you. Thank you.
Leave this can go. This can go. Hi, I'm Sheila. Hi. I am not blonde, I am strawberry blonde, so fuck you, okay? First of all, that's not cool. I know, right? I connected with Alicia, connected with Donna. It was amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah, I am not actually from Colorado. I am from South Dakota. I grew up in the Midwest. I was raised by Midwestern church ladies. And there's some rules, you know, when you're being raised by church ladies. I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, and our neighbor who was just accepted all children as hers. And we belonged to several churches. We were from a small town. The town was about 700 people. And I lived 2 miles outside of that town on a 3,000-acre ranch. So, yeah. There's some rules around being raised by church ladies, okay? First of all, first thing you need to know, okay, is you gotta put the green beans in the casserole. You wanna make a fancy casserole, you get the off-brand potato chips, you crumble those up on top, and that right there is great casserole. Okay, you take that to any potluck you want. You know, you gotta shop at the Dollar Tree, okay? And you gotta get the dented cans because they're like 79% off, okay? You don't know what's in them, but that doesn't matter. Okay? It's important to be part of your community. You do whatever you gotta do. You're on every committee. You gotta be on every committee, okay? If you're not on the committee, that town dies. That's your fault. You wanna take that home? You gotta be on the sports team, Sheila. Listen, I know you're 5'2", okay? But now somebody's gotta dribble that basketball down. They're gonna have to shut down the school. You wanna be a part of that? You wanna be a part of that? My friends, I was point guard. I don't know if you saw my height. It's not really, but I was a starter, okay? We had 8 players, and I was the starter. They also had me on the track team because, you know, if you don't join it, it closes down, they shut it down. You want to be a part of that? You want to ruin the community, Sheila? So I was a long jumper. I was their star long jumper. Not ideal. Not ideal. I learned how to lose real early on in life. So that was fun. They found out early on that I could sing and I liked to be on the stage. Big mistake, Sheila. Big mistake, because they're like, oh, we got a talented one here. We should call the senior center, okay? They need some entertainment. And you know, these young faces, we gotta put them in front of people. And you know, she could go to the county fair. We have that right downtown. That thing keeps our town alive. So yeah, I sang at churches and funerals and the senior center. Grandma Shirley's 80th birthday, you know, and then her subsequent funeral after, tripping down the stairs. It was fun. I learned a lot, you guys. You know, I grew up on a ranch, and so a lot of times my dad, you know, this was his dream, right? It was his dream to be a rancher, and his dad was a rancher, and that dad was a whatever. We moved the Indians off the property, and that was my life. So my dad had 3,000 acres, and when he bought the 2,000 extra, there was no fences. And so my entire life was filled with building fences, and I'm not really like into that. Yeah. And so like, there's barbed wire, and I just, Sheila, get out here and help. Oh my God, no. Jesus Christ, just get in the car. Thank God. I couldn't get out of hauling hay though. We'd have these fields of hay bales, like round hay bales, and he'd take me, like, go take the truck. I was probably, 10 or 11. And you go take the truck, I need you to go get all those hay. I had to back up. I learned to parallel park when I was 11 years old, which is probably why my husband married me. I was hauling hay through the fields, listening to I didn't love it. It was, I would rather die. So when I was in middle school, my dad's like, hey, Sheila, you should learn to play the guitar. That's lame, I'm not gonna do anything you say. And like 2 years later, this boy who I double checked, he wasn't related to me because it's a big problem in that town. He was like, hey, Sheila, you want me to teach you how to play the guitar? I was like, oh my God, definitely, that's so hot. So hot. my dad's like, I suggested it like to my dad, you never said anything like that. I can't believe you would lie to me like that. So I learned to play the guitar. I spent hours every night learning to play the guitar. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be amazing. Like, my fingers are bleeding. All these songs Taylor Swift wrote about me, I think, is most likely. 2 years later, that same boyfriend was like, Sheila, you wanna teach you how to have sex? I was like, oh my God, yeah, that sounds fun. We should do it. I don't know, I didn't mention it earlier, but like, it's not really a thing that small town conservative Christians do. But I was thinking, I was like, what is, okay, like, I'm not gonna just jump into this willy-nilly, you know, like, what are my options, you know? What does hell look like? What is my real future if I have sex with this boy and I go to this hell that we speak of? What's that look like? And I'm thinking about, you know, playing basketball and hauling hay, you know, jumping long jump and singing at Eddie's funeral last week. Fucking, I'm there, okay? I'm there, all right? So what have I got to lose? So I have sex, it's great. I don't know if you guys tried it. And I was like, you know, I should probably be responsible about this. So I pulled my mom aside. Nobody talked to me about this. My boyfriend told me all about sex. I was like, you guys gotta hear about this shit. I was like, Mom, listen, I gotta tell you something. I think she was at work. It was probably right in the middle of a client meeting or something. And it's really important. I need to come over here. What's going on? Yeah, listen, gotta tell you something. I'm gonna need some birth control, number one. We're having sex. It's great. You should try it. My mom's just pale. She's about to drop, right? Like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, yeah, listen up. I know where you're going with this, Mom, but listen. I'm in a class of 25. My class is 25. There are 5 parents. I'm a junior in high school. There are 5 parents in my classroom, and they are my age. That is a 25% pregnancy rate, okay? I'm pretty good at math, okay? One more pregnancy, that's like 38. Don't do the math, guys. I was like, Mom, I gotta get pregnant. Like, this is the only way. She's like, I think that's how she communicates her feelings. I've never experienced it, so she knew that was her way of feeling. But she did take me to the doctor, because I was right. Like, pregnancy is a problem in a small town, because what the hell else are you gonna do? So I go to the doctor, get my birth control, and we go to the pharmacist, and I did not think this through. But I don't know if you know this about small towns, but like, you know everybody and they like know you. And this is my childhood pharmacist, and so we go to the pharmacy, and pharmacy Fred's like, oh, Sheila, how are you bad? How's your tummy ache from last year? You got strep throat? What do you need? What do you need, Sheila? You need a little antacid? You need some antibiotics? Can I get you? Oh, Fred, you are not going to believe this. Sheila's having sex. That's right, our little Sheila's having sex with Judy's son. What's next? She's probably not going to join basketball next year. Whole team's going to be done. We're going to have to shut down the school. What do you think of that? She's probably just going to, like, stop putting green beans in the casserole. What is that? That's just cream and mushroom. Jesus Christ. What's next? She's probably gonna vote Democrat. Fred stops. Barb, we are not gonna let that happen. She's not gonna vote Democrat, not on my watch. You get that girl some birth control, and we get her a good in-state school. We're gonna have her learn about agriculture, okay? And she's gonna come back to this town, she's gonna make it everything that it is. So that's why I learned to be a Democrat was a sin. Got to know. I was on my way to private college in Colorado. Peace out. She gave her last ditch effort. Now Sheila, like those poor people, like my poor parents, they did the best they could with what they had, you know? But on the way to Colorado, now Sheila. But just a few more things. As soon as we get there, I went to school in Glenwood Springs. As soon as we get there, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna find a Dollar Tree, okay? We're gonna find where the dented can section is, because you gotta learn to save money early. Okay, then we're gonna go around, we're going to find that Cool Whip section. We're going to get as many Cool Whip containers as you want because that shit's fat-free. Okay. Fat is a sin. We know that. We know that. It's 1998. So you get that. Now, when you're finished with this Cool Whip, I want you to wash those out because them's your dishes now. Okay, that'll save us extra money. You all know what I'm talking about. And we're gonna find a good Lutheran church, okay? You're gonna join the choir. You're gonna join the youth group. You're gonna be a leader in that church, okay, Sheila? You're gonna join that community center. Okay? You're gonna be a part of this community. And then she just kicked my ass out of the car and left, crying with happiness. I don't think they've ever been happier. Turns out I was actually really passionate about education. I went to 4 different colleges. And in 8 years, I graduated with my Associates of Arts degree. My parents were pretty proud. Like, Jesus Christ, has she done yet? But it's fine, you guys. I found a husband with a job. And I brought him home to my parents. I'm like, Ma, this one's got a job. She's like, okay, what is this going to cost me? She paid for our wedding. No joke, I'm serious. Everything I told you right now is true. Do you still get a check, husband? Yeah, she did. Yeah, she does. It'll be 20 years in May, so she's paying pretty well, I guess. Oh man, I hated the ranch. I hated it so much. I send my kids there now. We have 3 kids. They're wonderful. I prayed for them, so I send them to South Dakota every summer for like 3 months. I'm like, well, I'll see ya. Get some ranch into you. Learn how to work. Shit, they love it. They love it. They think it's Disneyland. Good for them. Good for them. But I'm done with the wilderness. I thought I was done with the wilderness, and then about a year ago, a friend of mine was like, Sheila, I want to go on a river trip with a bunch of women. And I was like, that sounds so fun for you. Like, you should do that. I will support you. She's like, no, I want you to come. I want you to come on the river with me. We're going to be women of the river. Okay, yeah. I mean, we've been friends for 5 years. I feel like you should know these things about me. I don't do that. I don't really do that. But, you know, this woman, we've been working out together for a couple of years, and like, she's really strong. And like, this is my goal, to beat her, to be stronger than her. And, you know, she's like this Amazon woman. She's tall and she's strong and she's like a kind, empathetic mother. But then she can come to, you know, weight training. We're gonna fucking get it! It's gonna be great! Okay, all right. So she convinced me. She's like, I'll make sure you don't die, Sheila. Like, you're gonna survive on this trip. I'm like, all right, okay. So I decided to go. Like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it with this woman. And a couple of my other friends are like, we're gonna go. Like, it could be fun. Like, it's like a retreat for women. So I just put it out of my mind for like a year. And like 2 months ago, they're like, all right, 1 month for the trip. I'm like, oh, we still doing that? I was really hoping for a government shutdown. So that maybe like we couldn't go to the wilderness. No, I could be so lucky. So I get on the text chain and they're like, all right, what equipment do we need to bring? I'm like, oh geez, here's equipment. And they start talking about bathrooms. All right, how are we gonna go to the bathroom? I'm like, okay, I did not see that coming. There's a bathroom situation, and so like, I think there's a box, and like, we just gotta carry the box. I'm like, I'm just gonna disassociate. I don't really know what that means. So but then they're like, we gotta talk about peeing. I'm like, I didn't know this was a problem. They're like, no, we can only pee in the river. Like, we can't pee on the land. You guys, that's litter. This is leave no trace. This is the people that she got to go on these trips are like environmentalists, geologists, like women that knew their shit. I was not gonna die out there, but I also had to poop in a bucket and figure out how to pee. So somebody posted, they're like, hey, they got these devices. You can pee standing up just like a dude. And I was like, yeah, you've been there. It's like, all right, so I bought 3. And my husband's like, you don't need 3 penises. I'm like, you don't know that? He's like, I do, actually. You just need the one. So I returned the other 2. Researched on Amazon all the survival gear. And I ordered everything, and then I found out we had to fit everything that we wanted onto one kayak, or not kayak, canoe. I didn't know how big a canoe was, so I had to return everything. And so I packed 17 items. And my friend, like, luckily, she was like, these are the items we packed. I'm like, okay, I'll buy every one of those items. So I was ready. I had my shaving, I had my survival gear. And this is the part, guys. I got back on Sunday night. I did not memorize this. I wrote this while I was on the trip. So we're gonna read my journal from the trip, of which I survived. All right, so this is a women-only canoe trip, 18 women between the ages of 35 and 55. My next door neighbor said, you're all gonna come home lesbians. Because them bitches had a good time, okay? All right, so I was told this is a mostly floating trip of 100 miles. Great, I can float. I can float. The last time I camped on the ground was 2007, okay? So that's fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, survival to me is staying at the Best Western, because that's off-brand, you know? And going to the bathroom in a porta potty, that's survival, all right? This is not that, okay? So we get in there, and I'm panicking a little bit. I refuse to ask questions because I don't want to know, okay? I don't want to know what my life is going to be for the next 6 days. I did watch Moana a couple of times because I thought this was good preparation. She seemed really motivated. I packed some chill pills that had some THC in them because I thought this would be a good time to try marijuana in my 40s. So they're like, don't try new drugs. I'm like, it's fine. It's been around. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. The outfitter, I found out we don't have a guide, right? You're just going in these canoes, and the women that are with me are going to keep me alive or kill me. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But they did mention something about scorpions, and I was like, oh, okay. And then they did a thing around how to poop in the bucket. But there was a seat, so that's nice. And then one of my friends brought a tent to put around the poop thing, and so you have privacy. Poop in the bucket that you had to carry with you for 6 days. Right, day one on the river. We received a lengthy orientation from our outfitters, something about scorpions and adorable pygmy rattlesnakes. I might have asked the outfitter how the Wi-Fi was, and if there were potential coffee stops along the way. Sure, man, you'll be set up real nice out there. He lied. We have no official guide. Apparently many of the women have done this before and feel confident that they can keep me alive. I have disassociated and taken 3 chill pills. That's a THC, my friends. First attempt to use my lady penis. Not good. Pee everywhere. My flow is too strong. My vulva is too large. Apparently size does matter. We paddled, not floated. 9.7 miles that day. Only 91 miles to go. And that's how you get out of this trip of death. Now we get to camp. The crew sets up the poop bin inside of a little privacy tent. We call this thing a groover. I don't know why I don't ask questions. I pray for constipation. I have to poop now. Day 2. We paddle 17.7 miles. I've been reminded that I volunteered to boil the coffee water because I knew I could boil water, my friends. I did not know it would be in the dark, in the morning, in the cold. But I do it. These women own me now. They are my key to survival. I can boil water. I come from women of the land. I take 2 chill pills and 3 Advil. I have somehow been voted the propane guru. I am a powerful woman. I will not be voted off this island. True story. Day 3, we paddled 19 miles. The boiling water has become my quiet time. I am a wilderness woman. I received an emergency alert on my phone, which receives satellite. I was texting my husband, please get me out of here. But I received an emergency alert from the weather system. Weather is coming, flash flooding, rain, days of rain. Death is imminent, is what I see. It turns out This day I am a steering expert. I know how to move the canoe. I am now in control of the canoe. This makes me feel powerful. My arms no longer have feeling. What is soreness? What is pain? I take 2 chew pills and 6 Advil. I pooped twice today. I'm getting comfortable here. I have given up on my lady penis. It is dead to me. The river is where I pee now. Day 4, 18 miles. The rain is imminent. The stove blows up. If anyone tries to light it, it is now my stove. Don't touch my stove. I'm a fire goddess. I take 2 chill pills and 9 Advil. A tent blows into the river today. Not my tent. Thank God. It was saved by one of our sister goddesses who threw herself into the river. The tent was salvageable. The sisters slept. Day 5. We paddled 18.5 miles today. It is raining. It is cold and I must boil the water. I cursed the river, but we are sisters now, so I get up anyway. Everything is wet. I take 1 chill pill and 3 Advil. What is pain? I can do this. The sun comes out as soon as we make camp. I fashion a laundry line to dry all of our gear. I am one with the river. This is who I am now. I poop in a bucket in front of other women. I'm a paddle goddess. I am the fire queen. Day 6, we paddle 15 miles. We have decided to go the final distance today. We will reach the confluence of the Green River and the Colorado River. The end is in sight. My canoe partner is our fearless leader. We paddle with vigor. We must reach our destination. We channel Moana. We fly on the river. I was going to sing here, but I'm definitely not going to do that right now. Our final destination is the most beautiful sandbar. No mud, only sand. The sun comes out and we unpack our things one last time. No arguing. We work symbiotically. The sand has worn away my fingerprints. They're still really dry. This final night, the wind blows my tent flat to the ground, making me cold and wet. I have nothing dry to wear. No bother, I am the river. I am a wilderness woman. Our rescue boat arrives. Oh my God, thank God. I'm dying. Yeah, I'm not one with the river. F that, I'm done. That was a one-time deal. I got home. I called my mom immediately. Mom, I am a wilderness woman. I survived a canoe trip. She's like, Jesus Christ, Sheila, you remember that time you came back and you got bit by that rattlesnake? You're not a wilderness woman. You don't know shit. Backstory, you guys. I did get bit by a rattlesnake. So I was 18, okay? I was 18. I come back from college and I'm out drinking with my friends. And in the middle of nowhere, there's nowhere to drink except for nowhere. You know what I mean? So you gotta go on the dirt road and you gotta take the left fork to the right fork and then past McBride's pasture, the bull pasture, and then you go to the right. And that's where we partied. So I was walking with my friend down the road, in the dark, drinking Miller High Life, because that's the champagne of beers. And I'm fancy. And I hear this sound, and it sounded like a bee. And then I feel a sharp pain in my foot. I'm wearing sandals with socks, because that was the right thing to do back then. And I was like, did you hear that bee? He was like, yeah, I did hear that bee. We should get back. And so I'm walking back, and my leg is like throbbing, like all the way through my hip. I'm like, I think I'm allergic to bees. He's like, yeah, that sucks, man. And so I get back, and I'm like, you guys, is there like somebody with first aid? And Jenny comes over, she's like, Sheila, I know first aid. I'm a lifeguard. I'm a lifeguard. I'm like, yeah, you should look at my foot. And she's like, it's definitely a bee sting. You should go home. It's definitely a bee sting. So I go home and I limp into my mom's and I'm like, Mom, I got stung by a bee. And they're like, fuck, Sheila, Jesus. Like, I have to go back to college. Or whatever you do. I don't, just go. And so she gave me some ice and was like, just leave me alone. And so I iced my foot. I couldn't even walk downstairs to my room. I iced my foot and I was in pain all night long. In the morning, I'm like, Mom, my leg's swollen up to my knee. I think I'm dying. She's like, fuck, we don't go to the doctor. Like, it's not something we do. We don't have time or money for that. I mean, we did have money, but it was like, what a waste, And so I make her take me to the doctor, and she was like, I have client meetings all day long. Like, I have to meet with Fred today, and I do not have time for this. And so I go to the doctor, and they spend like an hour looking at me, and they're like, it's not, like, it can't be a bee, right? Like, she is not a bee. And they're like, well, we happen to have the state's rattlesnake expert here. Like, I'm pretty sure you got bit by a rattlesnake. Am I gonna die? Do it. They're like, shockingly, most rattlesnake victims die in 12 hours. So that's a miracle. Congratulations, dum-dum. I hope you survived. I did. I was laughing stuff. They now know me as the rattlesnake survivor. And like, 4 generations of this town, motherfuckers. And I'm the rattlesnake survivor. I found myself the other day telling my son, you know, he's 12 and he knows everything. I don't know if you have children, but they know more than you. And he was like, oh my God, Mom, you're so ridiculous and embarrassing. And I was like, listen here. You listen here, young man. You need to be more careful, okay? You need to take time. You need to think about where you're shopping for things. We live next to that Dollar Tree. You need to go back over there. You need to get the dented cans, okay? You bring Mom back some whipped cream. We're running out of plates. Okay, son? You need to join a church or a club or something. You need to get involved in this community. I know this is a big town, but it's part of you. It's who you need to be. You need to be a part of this community, son. And that's when I learned I turned into my mom. Thank you.
Do a test. Hot mic. Oh my God. Okay, give it up. You guys have been an amazing audience. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a huge round of applause.